The silent signal. The Milky Way galaxy teemed with life, a vast cosmic ocean where thousands of civilizations had formed the galactic concordat. For millennia, this alliance maintained order through careful diplomacy, technological exchange, and mutual defense. At the heart of the concordat was the Grand Council, representatives from the oldest spacefaring races who guided galactic policy with the wisdom of eons. Earth, by comparison, was a newcomer, brash, unpredictable, and troublingly innovative. Humans had been discovered only 3 centuries ago, already experimenting with primitive faster-than-light travel that the concordat scientists had deemed theoretically impossible for a species at their development stage. They shouldn't have achieved this for another 1,000 years, High Counselor Theron of the Elysian Dominion had remarked during humanity's formal introduction to the galactic community. Their technological progression defies all established models. This accelerated development concerned the Council enough to place Earth under special observation. Not quarantine. The humans would have rebelled against such restrictions, but guided integration. Monitoring stations positioned throughout the Sol system tracked all transmissions, cataloged technological advancements, and reported directly to the Council's intelligence division. For 3 centuries, this arrangement functioned adequately. Humans expanded to Mars, established mining operations throughout their asteroid belt, and built research outposts on several Jovian moons. They were permitted limited interstellar travel to nearby systems, but always under concordat supervision. Then, without warning, Earth went silent. On the monitoring station orbiting Neptune, Commander Vexi of the Tlaxian Guard noticed it first, the abrupt cessation of Earth's electromagnetic chatter. The constant stream of communications, entertainment broadcasts, and data transmissions that had flowed from the planet for centuries simply stopped. Run diagnostics on all receivers, Vexi ordered, antennae twitching with concern. When the systems reported full functionality, the commander initiated emergency protocols. Alert the Council. Earth has gone dark. Within hours, the news spread throughout the concordat leadership. Emergency sessions convened across 12 star systems as the implications were debated. Had the humans destroyed themselves in some catastrophic war? Had disease wiped them out? Or was this silence deliberate, perhaps the prelude to something more sinister? We must investigate immediately, urged Representative Morlax of the Centauri Alliance, her bioluminescent skin pulsing with agitation. If the humans are planning something, we need to know. Caution, countered Elder Joran of the Proxima Collective, his ancient voice barely audible across the quantum link. Hasty action could provoke exactly what we fear. After 3 days of debate, the Council authorized a reconnaissance mission led by Commander Xaeli, a veteran diplomatic officer known for her level-headed approach to crisis situations. Her vessel, the Stellar Envoy, was equipped with the most advanced stealth and sensor technology in the Concordat's arsenal. Your mission is observation only, High Counselor Theron instructed during the final briefing. Determine what has happened to Earth and its colonies, but do not engage unless absolutely necessary. Commander Xaeli's 4 eyes blinked in acknowledgement, her chitinous exoskeleton shifting as she bowed respectfully. For the harmony of the Concordat, she pledged. The Stellar Envoy departed from the Proxima Centauri station, its quantum drives engaging as it slipped into the dimensional fold that allowed faster-than-light travel. 7 hours later, the ship emerged at the edge of the Sol system, its sensitive instruments immediately scanning for any signs of human activity. Initial readings are puzzling, reported Science Officer Krell, his tentacles manipulating the holographic displays with practiced precision. The colonies on Mars and the Jovian moons appear operational but minimally staffed. Earth itself shows normal biosphere readings, but urban energy signatures are reduced by approximately 60%. Visual confirmation, ordered Xaeli. The main view screen activated, showing high-resolution images of Earth's surface. Major cities stood intact but dimmed, as if operating at reduced capacity. There were no signs of destruction, no radiation signatures indicating warfare, no evidence of pandemic or natural disaster. It's as if most of the population simply left, murmured Krell. That's impossible, said Security Officer Vraz, her reptilian scales shifting color with her unease. 8 billion humans don't just disappear. As the stellar envoy moved closer, maintaining its stealth field, the mystery deepened. Scattered communications were detected between remaining human outposts, but they consisted primarily of maintenance reports and routine status updates. No mention of where the majority of the population had gone, or why Earth's global communication network had been silenced. It was during the third day of observation that they detected the anomaly. Commander, I'm registering an unusual energy signature from Earth's North Atlantic region, reported Krell, his voice tense with excitement. It's unlike anything in our database. The readings showed a massive power source deep beneath the ocean floor, generating energy levels that should have been impossible for human technology to achieve. Similar signatures detected in the Pacific Basin, the Himalayan Plateau, and beneath the Antarctic ice sheet, added Vraz. They appear to be connected through some kind of subspace network. Sayali studied the readings, her 4 eyes narrowing in concentration. Could this be why Earth has gone silent? Some kind of new energy infrastructure project. The technology is far beyond what humans should be capable of, said Krell. These energy patterns suggest they've mastered zero-point extraction and quantum containment, technologies the Concordat has only recently perfected. The implications were disturbing. Either humans had made an impossible technological leap in secret, or something, or someone, had provided them with advanced technology. Against protocol but driven by necessity, Xaeli made the decision to send a probe to the North Atlantic site for closer investigation. The probe descended through Earth's atmosphere under complete stealth, diving beneath the ocean surface to approach the energy source. The data it transmitted back to the stellar envoy stunned the crew into silence. Beneath the ocean floor was a vast complex, extending kilometers into the Earth's crust. But what truly shocked them was the activity inside. Thousands of humans working alongside machinery that defied conventional understanding, manipulating what appeared to be the very fabric of space-time itself. They're creating something, whispered Krell. A gateway of some kind. Before they could analyze further, the probe's transmission abruptly cut off. Moments later, the stellar envoy sensors detected an energy wave emanating from Earth, a pulse of exotic particles that washed over the ship, temporarily disrupting its stealth systems. We've been detected, announced Vraz, her scales flushing crimson with alarm. Almost immediately, a communication request came through on a frequency that should have been impossible for humans to access, the secure Concordat diplomatic channel. After a moment's hesitation, Sayali accepted the transmission. The view screen flickered, and a human face appeared. A woman with dark hair streaked with silver, intelligent eyes regarding them with calm assessment. Commander Xaeli of the Stellar Envoy, the woman said, speaking perfect Concordat standard. I am Dr. Elena Vega, Director of Project Ascension. We've been expecting your arrival, though you're here sooner than our models predicted. Xaeli struggled to maintain her diplomatic composure. How do you know who I am? How are you accessing this channel? Dr. Vega smiled slightly. The answer to both questions is the same, Commander. Humanity has evolved. The silence you detected wasn't a calamity, it was a metamorphosis. What have you done? Xaeli asked, a sense of foreboding settling over her. We've transcended the limitations you sought to impose on us, replied Vega. But perhaps it's better if I show you. Please, bring your ship to the coordinates I'm transmitting. Come alone. It's time the Concordat understands why Earth has fallen silent. As the transmission ended, Sayali faced a critical decision. Follow protocol and retreat with this alarming information, or accept the invitation and discover the truth firsthand. The fate of the Concordat, and perhaps the galaxy itself, hung in the balance. Echoes of humanity. The emergency session of the Galactic Concordat's High Council stretched into its third day. Representatives from 47 major civilizations gathered in the vast chamber on Proxima Prime, their voices rising in a cacophony of argument and speculation. Commander Xali's decision to accept the human invitation was reckless and unauthorized, thundered Counselor Draz of the Regelian Confederation, his gravitational field distorting the space around him in agitation. Yet her data transmission before entering Earth's atmosphere confirms what we feared, countered Representative Shen of the Ta City Systems, her holographic form flickering with concern. The humans have achieved technological sophistication centuries ahead of our projections. High Counselor Theron raised his crystalline appendages, silencing the chamber. The facts remain incomplete. We know Earth has gone silent. We know they possess energy technology matching or exceeding our own. What we don't know is their intention. Meanwhile, 12 light-years away, Commander Xali's shuttle descended through Earth's atmosphere, following the coordinates provided by Dr. Elena Vega. The stellar envoy remained in high orbit, ready to retreat should the need arise. The shuttle landed on a platform extending from a cliffside overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. As the hatch opened, Xali was struck by Earth's natural beauty: blue skies, crashing waves, and dense forests stretching inland. It seemed incongruous with the ominous silence that had alarmed the Concordat. A small delegation awaited her, led by Dr. Vega herself. Unlike in the transmission, Vega appeared subtly different in person. Her movements possessed an unusual fluidity, and her eyes held a depth of awareness that Xali found disconcerting. "Welcome to Earth, Commander," Vega said, extending her hand in the human greeting custom. "We appreciate your willingness to come." Xali's translator converted her chittering response to standard human English. "Your invitation was compelling. The Concordat is concerned about Earth's silence and the technology you appear to possess." Vega nodded. "Follow me. It's easier to show you than explain." They entered a transport tube that descended rapidly into the cliff face. Through transparent sections, Xali glimpsed vast underground chambers filled with technology unlike anything she had seen before. Crystalline structures pulsing with energy, fields of quantum particles dancing in controlled patterns, and humans working in silent coordination, their movements precise and purposeful. 3 years ago, Vega explained as they descended, a research team in Antarctica discovered something buried deep in the ice, a data crystal of non-human origin. Xali's antennae twitched with alarm. Concordat regulations strictly prohibit sharing advanced technology with developing species. "It wasn't from the Concordat," Vega said simply. "The crystal contained information from a civilization that existed in this galaxy long before the Concordat formed, a species that had evolved beyond physical form. They called themselves the predecessors." The transport stopped at a massive chamber dominated by a spherical structure composed of interlocking rings that rotated around a central core of brilliant energy. "This is the Nexus," said Vega, gesturing toward the sphere. "The culmination of what we learned from the crystal." "What does it do?" asked Xali, her multiple eyes unable to fully process the complex patterns of the device. "It allows us to transcend traditional space-time limitations," replied Vega. "Commander, do you know why Earth went silent?" Before Xali could respond, Vega continued, "It wasn't because we shut down our communications. It was because most of humanity has already moved beyond the need for them. 70% of our population no longer exists in conventional physical form." The revelation sent a shock through Xali's nervous system. "You've achieved consciousness transfer. Mass ascension." "Not exactly transfer," said Vega, her expression serene. "Evolution. The Nexus doesn't move consciousness from one container to another. It allows it to expand beyond containment altogether. Those who have undergone the process still maintain their human identity, but they exist in a state of quantum entanglement with reality itself." Xali struggled to comprehend the implications. "You're saying that the majority of humanity has ascended, become non-corporeal." "We prefer the term post-physical," Vega corrected gently. "They still interact with our world, but from a perspective unconstrained by traditional physical limitations." As if on cue, the air around them shimmered, and patterns of light coalesced into humanoid forms. Translucent, luminous beings that radiated an energy Xeali's sensors identified as highly ordered quantum fields. "These are my colleagues who chose early transition," explained Vega. "They can manifest physical form when needed, but primarily exist in what we call the quantum substrate, a layer of reality paralleling our own." One of the luminous figures approached, its voice resonating not through air vibrations, but directly in Xeali's mind. "We mean no harm to the Concordat," the entity communicated. "We simply outgrew the limitations imposed upon us." Xeali's diplomatic training hadn't prepared her for this scenario. "The Council will see this as a threat," she stated bluntly. "An entire species suddenly achieving technological superiority and dimensional transcendence disrupts the balance of power the Concordat was founded to maintain." "Balance built on control and artificial limitation," countered Vega. "The Concordat has systematically suppressed technological advancement in younger species, maintaining the dominance of the founding civilizations. We discovered this truth in the predecessor crystal." Before Xeali could respond, alarms sounded throughout the facility. One of Vega's human assistants approached urgently. "Director, Concordat warships have entered the system. They're demanding immediate surrender of all transcendence technology." Vega turned to Xeali, her expression hardening. "It seems your council didn't wait for your report, Commander." The main display activated, showing 12 Concordat battlecruisers in Earth orbit, their weapon systems powering up. The stellar envoy hung disabled between them, clearly captured. "The Council fears what it doesn't understand," said Xeali, her voice heavy with regret. "They believe you violated the natural development protocols, and their solution is military intervention." Vega shook her head. "This is exactly why we went silent, Commander. We knew the Concordat would attempt to prevent our evolution." The luminous entities in the chamber began to pulse more intensely, communicating among themselves in patterns Xeali couldn't interpret. "What will you do?" she asked, sensing a pivotal moment approaching. Vega's eyes reflected a profound calmness. "We will demonstrate that force is irrelevant against what we've become." Throughout the chamber, humans and post-physical entities alike ceased their activities, turning their attention upward. Vega closed her eyes in concentration, and Xeali's sensors detected a massive surge of quantum energy emanating from the Nexus. In orbit, the Concordat battlecruisers suddenly found themselves immobilized, their propulsion and weapons systems offline. No damage had been inflicted. They simply ceased functioning, as if the laws of physics had been locally rewritten to prevent their operation. "We could destroy them," Vega said quietly, "but that's not our purpose. Humanity hasn't transcended to conquer, but to understand." The communication channel opened, and the face of High Counselor Theran appeared, his crystalline features rigid with alarm. "What have you done to our vessels?" he demanded. "Demonstrated restraint," replied Vega. "Your ships are unharmed," Counselor merely paused. "They'll remain so until we've had a chance to explain our position. You've violated the most sacred principles of the Concordat," Theran declared. "Unauthorized technological advancement." "Unauthorized by whom?" interrupted Vega. "The Concordat has no legitimate authority to dictate humanity's evolution. We've committed no aggression against any species. We simply chose our own path." The standoff extended into hours as Vega, with Xeali's reluctant assistance, negotiated with the Concordat leadership. The humans' position was clear. They would not surrender their technology or reverse their transcendence, but neither did they seek conflict. They wanted recognition of their new status and the freedom to continue their evolution. Faced with technology they couldn't counter in a species that had fundamentally transformed itself, the Concordat had little choice but to agree to preliminary terms. As discussions concluded, Vega turned to Xeali. "Your report will shape how the Concordat responds long-term. What will you tell them?" Xeali considered carefully. "The truth. Humanity hasn't gone silent. It's speaking in a new language, one the galaxy must learn to understand." Before departing, Xeali was granted a final revelation. Vega led her to a smaller chamber where the original predecessor crystal was displayed, a multifaceted object that seemed to exist partially in dimensions beyond normal perception. The predecessors left these crystals throughout the galaxy, explained Vega, not just for humans, but for all species ready to transcend artificial limitations. The Concordat founders discovered theirs eons ago, but chose to suppress the knowledge, fearing the disruption it would cause to their power structure. You're saying the elder races of the Concordat already possessed this technology? Asked Ixali, stunned by the implication. They did, confirmed Vega. And now they face the consequence of their choice to control rather than share. Humanity won't be the last to discover a crystal and transcend. We're simply the first to do so openly. As Scaly departed Earth, returning to her awaiting ship, she carried with her the weight of this knowledge. The Concordat stood at a crossroads. Continue its path of control and isolation, or embrace a new paradigm, where evolution couldn't be contained by policy or fear. Earth hadn't fallen silent. It had simply begun speaking the truth the galaxy wasn't prepared to hear, that the boundaries between matter and energy, between corporeal and incorporeal, were not fixed laws, but merely temporary limitations waiting to be transcended. And in the vast expanse of the Milky Way, other young civilizations were listening, waiting for their own opportunity to evolve beyond the constraints imposed upon them. The silence of Earth had become a beacon, echoing across the stars. Not an ending, but a beginning. The universe would never be the same again.